growing up in gangs and being a part of gang activity, you say how this man become to be a person, be totally against capital punishment. And it was through my education and growing up in gangs and losing my own humanity, and we're in prison where I regained my own humanity again. I denounced my gang activity and joined a political movement for social justice and human rights for all the prisoners, irregardless you're guilty. You deserve a right to be treated as a human being. And at that particular time, we was influenced by the Black Panther Party in the 60s and 70s. I became radicalized by the Panthers and progressive peoples that was in the institution. On November 27th, a human being was killed, a prison guard. His name was Jerry Sanders, and I was accused of leading the uprising. And they locked down the whole prison in California, not just that prison, but the entire prison population in California, because they said it was a conspiracy to kill prison guards throughout California. And myself and Eugene Allen, we was accused of killing that prison guard, and in our second trial, we was convicted and sentenced to die at San Quentin. My first trial ended in a hung jury. My second trial, that's where we was tried behind bulletproof glass, etc. And that's where we was convicted and sentenced to die. And after being on death row for 2 or 3 years, the Supreme Court of California overturned our conviction based how they systematically excluded African Americans off the jury. And I clearly understand that now because of the racism that was coming up in our trial, and they didn't want black people to be, peoples of color to be exposed to this racism. So he made it an effort, a supreme effort, to make sure no other African American would be on this jury. And you would think, since the Supreme Court of California overturned our conviction based on that, you would think that we're gonna get a jury composed of African American, peoples of color, whatever, right? My third trial was totally white. They systematically excluded all the African Americans. During my fourth trial, they called us down and said the jury has a verdict. And I walked in there and I was the first one. They asked me to stand, and I looked at the jury and they read the instructions. We say, we the jury find Mr. Graham not guilty. I can remember doing this. And after 11 long years, my greatest nightmare has finally come to an end. It's not just about death row. It's not just about solitary confinement. It's about the whole criminal justice system. If you grew up as dark as I am and grew up on a plantation and go to South Central Los Angeles after living in the reality of racism and discrimination, what would your record be? You pull the white kids over, you're gonna find alcohol on their breath too. You're gonna find a little marijuana in their car. Come on, they kids. You criminalizing our children. But you're not applying it to everyone. It's peoples of color that you're applying it to. That's racism and discrimination. And that's what I'm fighting for an end to. I'm not here just be happy to be off of death row. Yeah, I survived death row, I survived prison. So I'm going to just submit and just give in. I did my time. No, I just begun. That's where I'm at. I'm going to fight until the day I die. And you mark me on this. You're going to hear about me until the day I die. And even in death, you're going to hear about me.